Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Big J, how's it going?
I'm doing. Oh, well, I'm not great. All right. I've got a lot to rant about. I'm not a happy camper today, Joe. North
All right.
Melbourne, we stink. That's it. Just stink. Like, I've been like, all right, throughout the season, we're showing things. Mate, our worst players in the team are the mature age players. The guys that we've given contracts for like 5 or 6 years. The ones that are finishing up, we're going to save them. They're going to be great because Tassie's coming in and, we want to keep. No, I don't want you. Go away. And, as you know with some players, right, that we're inclined to keep the guys on field because we're paying them so much money. We can't just be like, nah, sorry, you're on a 6-year contract. Go play VFL for half the season. No, it just doesn't work. And, it's bloody frustrating. As causer, mate, can't wait to chat North, mate. It's going to be an interesting one. I'm just really not happy at all.
Look, the North you would be happy though, Joe. I mean, the North
you'd be happy.
I'm very happy. Wasn't long ago. I've came back from the game. I was there, got some decent seats, and sitting a bit there on edge of the 50 and the goal, and I was right behind Stringer, right behind the package when he kicked that goal from the boundary line. Was very nice. I mean, our two clubs are in two different situations, two different circumstances in our development, in our rebuild, so to speak. So it makes sense for us not to feel the same way about our teams. But I mean, we played the Crows here at Marvel Stadium. They're not a great traveling team. Meanwhile, you guys played the Cats in Geelong. With a lot of outs, and as Ross said here, exactly. Keep the faith. You didn't have Wardlaw in the side. It was a late out. Why was he out?
Griffin Lowe got injured early. Zeeble was made emergency, but realistically, you've got Mackay who might be on the out, and Griffin Lowe's our best defender. So it doesn't really say much for the rest of the team. The forward line weren't cracking. The midfield weren't great. Cherry did all right, but it's not like Geelong are kind of known for their ruck stocks, right?
No, they're not. But when they play in Geelong, it's a fortress for them. And don't worry, it's our turn this week, and in the coming week, it will be our turn to go over there and lose to them.
Has Port played them in? Has Port played Geelong at home yet, or is that not on the cards this year?
I'm not sure if that's on the cards this year, but if they play there, would be one heck of a matchup. So I'm actually going to pull it up right now. If I go to Geelong.
Wow, this week, according to Big Swizz, who hopefully is here in the chat, and we might get him on later, there were about 80 scores in the 2700s.
They do. Geelong play Port at GMHBA Saturday, August 5, round 21.
Wow. So do you reckon they'll keep the winning streak until then, or are they going to flounder?
See, the Geelong have a quota for how many games they lose at home. So they tend to lose to GWS there all the time, and then they drop one other game. So they've lost to GWS already, and I'm pretty sure they lost to Freo over there, didn't they? When they played there.
I think so, maybe.
So I think they've already that's their quota, I think, for the year. So unfortunately, I can't see Geelong losing anymore this year at home. So it's rough. They've got and playing at home, they've got us this week, right? So they belt you, they'll belt us without Ridley. Just to add insult, we lose Ridley and they gain Jeremy Cameron back.
Is he out for a while, you reckon?
It looks like a clear hyperextension. The fact that they tried to strap him up and try and play him again, I think he's guaranteed to miss this week for sure. So just as we lose Ridley, our best defender, they gain Jeremy Cameron, one of the best players in the comp, and we're playing them over there. So I've already earned myself some demolition there this week.
Yeah, and it's probably parish audition week as well, right? Depending on
Yeah.
where he's going. Where he's going, it could be, hey, come audition for my team. Like, it's going to be a rough one for you.
No, Parrish said he wants to stay. Parrish has said out in public that he wants to stay. So that's really good. It's just about getting the deal done, and hopefully Mason Redmond, he kicked the first goal of the game against the Crows, who he's rumored to be going towards. So he kicked the first goal. So maybe, why would you go to that rabble? Stay with us, Mason. Don't go there.
At least stay in Melbourne. I mean, Adelaide's got nothing. Sorry, George, if you're watching, but Adelaide's a bit of a shithole, Why'd you go and play? It's not retirement central. Though Adelaide do look good, and Doty might be going, and a couple of other players might be going. So, slowly building up that team. They don't really care about first round picks anymore. The way the team's going, obviously, beat you. You beat them on the weekend, but yeah, it's a rough one.
But if I wouldn't want to play them at home though. So
no.
We beat them here, but playing Adelaide in Adelaide is an entirely different kettle of fish. They are really good at home.
Yeah, no, 100%. Guys, remember the link to the streams in the chat if you guys want to jump on for fan cams. Love to see your pretty faces if you want to be there. Yeah.
As Shannon says, that was big news. No Max King for the Saints for the rest of the year. That is huge. But then again, they were able to win earlier in the year without him. So maybe that means they'll play less predictable footy, and you might end up having, some more wins coming their way, because they have stalled in the wins department, the Saints. So
it's interesting. As you say, right? Like the first half a dozen games, they won pretty convincingly without King in there, and then I think the forward line turned a little bit King focused. Obviously, that might be a bit of a change now.
That's what happened to us. I mean, I thought our forward line was really unpredictable before Tumita Peter came back. Tumita came back, and all of a sudden, it's just been dropping on his head every single week, which isn't to his benefit and isn't to the team's benefit. If it's being broadcasted clear as day, we're going to go to this guy. He's always got two people on him. So
it's the old kick to Ben Brown strategy, right? Like Ben
exactly.
Brown he'll kick it to him because he's in the forward line. So yeah, looks like Shannon's got some cool footy cards there, Joe.
Yeah, he does. Absolutely. G'day, Sports Nut. How's it going? The Hawks were gallant in defeat. Absolutely. It looks like Stephen Cornelio is back in action. He had a terrific game for his team, and Briggs is an absolute superstar as well.
Yeah.
But you guys have been really good.
Briggs is so underrated to the point where like commentators are like, oh, they've got Flynn and they've got Bruce in there, so maybe we can go and get Briggs. If a team's struggling and mate, Briggs is not leaving that club. I'm sorry. Briggs is just not going. Like he's not leaving GWS.
No, they better hope not, because even with him doing as well as he did and Cogs being great, the Hawks were able to come out in front ahead of them with the center bounce clearance scores. So the Hawks have been really impressive for such a young midfield brigade, for them to have pushed GWS as hard as they did, winning scores from the clearance, from the center bounce clearances with the 6-6-6 rule. That is a very impressive feat away from here as well, playing over there. So massive kudos to the Hawks. I thought they would be a lot worse this year than what they've shown, but they've been really resilient, really tough, and they've clearly got a great coach at the helm.
Yeah, I think it's coach, but it's also really strong, mature age players, which is kind of what North Melbourne doesn't have. Like we see how they look without Sicily, with him in the team, but even just the training standards during the week, they haven't lost everybody. Getting rid of Mitchell and O'Meara, yes, did hurt them, I think, a little bit. But, yeah, it just comes down to quality. Quality of coaching staff too, as you say, but not even just the senior coach. Like the guys they've got under him, Hawthorn knows what it looks like to compete and win finals. I'll go back to North Melbourne. We just don't. Like, the win-loss record, I get flamed on Twitter, I get flamed on, Big Footy and Facebook and everything else, talking about, hey, you know, the win-loss ratio for our coaches, and Corey can back me up here, I reckon they'd be close to a 5%. Now, if you're a coach at a club, how do you keep your job if your win-loss ratio of players, and you've been at that club for multiple years, if it's like 5 to 10%? Like, what are you teaching these players? Well, how are you developing these players when brand new players at other clubs can just come in and be phenomenal? And your higher draft picks, the guys that are supposed to be better players, like just look terrible on field. So, yeah, I just don't understand, Joe.
Look, it is a performance-based industry, and for something that is, and that's why you see so many coaches get changed, get turned over. It's not an enviable position to be a head coach, because very, very, very rarely do you ever get to leave on your own terms. A bit like Dimmer Hardwick, for example, how he stepped away. But I don't think he steps away if his team is winning and they're on fire and they're doing really great. You know what I mean? So he stepped away in an area, in a time of high pressure, high stress, because that's what the coach's box is. It's all stress, it's all stress, it's all pressure. You got Stuart Dew, who, always the headlights of they're going to get sacked, they're going to be moved on. There's another coach here, Ken Hinckley. He's gone. His position is untenable, they said. Untenable. And now look at them. They've won more than 10 in a row. They've got 13 in a row. And I thought he was untenable. You know what I mean? So it's a rough position to be as a head coach. And it's a weird one, because it's not just the coach, though. It's also the list management. Yeah. It's also the development coaches. It's also the health and fitness staff, because all these things go hand in hand to make a great team. I think Adam Simpson is a great coach, and he's able to build a great team. Hence why he won the flag, not too long ago against Collingwood with that beautiful Dom Sheed goal. But he's been very let down by the health team, by the health and conditioning team, because they can't keep a team out there on the park. There's always soft tissue injuries or of some nature, So, well, ultimately, the coach gets the blame.
Yeah, I think the problem with West Coast, and we'll maybe finish up our chats a little bit before we get some people on, but the biggest problem for West Coast is they drafted for the here and now, and they traded for the here and now a few years ago, and obviously couldn't replicate 2018 to following years. Similar to North Melbourne, we almost made the final series in 2018, pushed hard for Polek and Gaff, got one of them. Majak got injured, and then the club just really hasn't been able to do anything left. So, yeah, it's a really tough one. But as you say, it's not just the players on field, but I'm not taking away from the players on field either. The coach can't play any different. You've got guys on field that have 200 plus games experience. You know what training standards are like. You know what it's like to play a full game of football. I'm sorry, you're not a kid who's played 50 games. Up to a certain extent, see you later. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Speaking of players on field, Jason's asking, how's it going, Jace? If Redmond and Parrish leave, do the Bombers start a full rebuild? I think we're already in the middle of a rebuild that was started against our wishes, with the loss of Danaher, Fantasia, Sard, McKenna. We were sort of forced into a rebuild. We weren't intending to do one, Jason, but we were forced to salvage the situation, to look inboard and try and fix the situation. We ended up drafting some players, and the team is the youngest it's been since the baby Bomber era. So if these two leave, I wouldn't cry a lot if Parrish was to leave, because we've shown that we've got enough midfielders running through there. The emergence of Hobbs and Caldwell. Perkins will start to get more game time in there. We're using Shield as the sub now, and he's one of our experienced players. So we've got a lot of mids. What we don't have a lot of is offensive rebounding defenders. And if Mason Redmond leaves, we'll probably plug in Massimo D'Ambrosio there, but he ain't Mason Redmond.
No.
He's not Mason Redmond, who can bounce off halfback and launch a long bomb, as we saw in the first minute of the game. He goes and kicks a goal from 55 meters out. He does a lot of great defensive work as well. Massimo can't do that. Massimo's more of a small defender. So I really want us to do our absolute best that we can to hold on to Mason. I really do. I don't see an easy fix if Mason was to leave our club and go to Adelaide. I don't see an easy fix. I just really hope that Brad can sell the dream, sell the vision, and I'm sure today's win certainly didn't hurt our chances of keeping him. So
yeah, and I think it's one of the good things as well about performances on field and the buy-in of a lot of players too. Like I don't think you don't see many established players leaving the likes of Richmond or Geelong or someone else for other clubs because they know, hey, we're performing well on field. So players leave for opportunity, they leave for money, but they also stay for success as well. So
correct, absolutely. Hey Vin, how's it going? Globes, how's it going, mate? A little disappointed with how we finished off. Look, I think we did enough to hold on. Yes, we clearly lifted our foot off the pedal. We sort of knew that the game was wrapped up with those 2 last quarter goals to push the margin out. It would have been great to really run through them really hard and get a nice percentage boost. But I mean, if it meant they probably looked and saw, oh, we're a bit injured here. We've lost Ridley. Redmond's got a bit of a hamstring tendonitis sort of thing as well. So I can understand them not wanting to run out the game full tilt. The game was already won. There's no need to put any more pressure, any risk to injury. So I can understand. It was a mature way to end the game, I think, Lopes. Sportsnet, where's Redmond? Redmond's rumoured to be going to Adelaide, are really into him. Apparently Adelaide are looking to spend a lot of money, to throw a lot of money at Mason Redmond to come. He is from South Australia, but he lives almost halfway between Adelaide and Melbourne. So whilst it's from an area in South Australia, it's not in Adelaide itself. He lives on the edge of Adelaide. So I don't think there's much of a go home factor there, but they're looking to send a lot of money his way. And so for him, the question is, do I take the cash or do I stay here with this team that we're sort of that's being built up here? And hopefully he can accept that vision. Obviously, though, Adelaide are showing that they've got a great future as well. So for him, it's almost a question of, is the future that Essendon building in the future, is that future brighter than Adelaide's future plus the money? So he does have a massive decision to make. I don't undersell it. And if he was to go, I wouldn't blame him. You know what I mean? I can't blame.
You guys would be getting a half decent draft pick out of it too. So
as compensation, yeah, we would for sure. If the money that they're throwing his way is as they say, then so be it. All right, Parrish is up for trade. No, we don't want Parrish to be traded. We want to keep Parrish. Globes, we want to keep him. So no,
North Melbourne would take him. We're so shit.
A lot of clubs would take him. Yeah, all right. Jonas, how's it going, Jonas? Redmond is saying if Adrian the Dud pays up, he is not happy with the contract offer. Mate, are you in bed with freaking Redmond's player manager? How the hell do you know this stuff? Tell Dodoro how much he needs to stay, and then we'll make that happen. Jen, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Jen. Another week, another Collingwood win. It is.
I know, it looks good, man. I don't mind it, right? Some teams win and some teams lose. I just want my team to be competitive, Joe. I'm over it.
I mean, how are you going to be competitive? I mean, you want competitive, right? In the face of big odds. I thought the Saints, if there's any sense about, I thought the Saints were really competitive. In the face of their injuries. They were down 3. They were down on rotations, and yet they still matched Melbourne in a lot of the key metrics. I was really impressed with St Kilda's endeavour this week.
Yeah, they're a very good team, and one of the best things about them is the players are so versatile too. They've got a lot of medium forwards that can play across the board in different places and things like that, and cover a lot of injuries. So,
for sure. All right.
Big Shano
Humphreys. Shannon, how's it going, mate?
Not much.
Yeah. Another West Coast performance.
Heavy defeat.
Yeah. Yeah.
81.
How do you feel about it?
Pretty much devastated.
Are you sick of it yet?
Sick of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Feels
don't
a
know
bit
what to
like
tell you.
that, doesn't it? Sometimes, like, you just want the season to finish, and then, you know, other teams are really happy that September's coming around. That's
I
one of the
just want the
beautiful things
season
about
to just-
Supercoach. One of the beautiful
I
things
just-
about Supercoach is just like you can enjoy the AFL outside of it.
Mm.
But yeah, some games are really rough, man.
No, I just want the season to be over and done with so we can get to the trade period.
36 scoring shots to 10, 16 goals, 20. They certainly lost. They certainly left a lot of points. That 81 point loss could have, probably should have been a lot bigger. What are you hoping to see from the rest of the season from your mob?
Hopefully some players come back from injury. We really lost Nick Nat and Jai Cully for the season. Hopefully Liam Ryan doesn't go out for the season. Because I will be very pissed if he does go out for the season.
Did you get any injuries from this game? I think everyone... This might be the first game in a while where you finally haven't had any injuries.
I know, no injuries.
I'm sure there's a lot of injured hearts, though, from this game, probably.
Yeah, it's tough going for a big team because, like, there must be so much pressure from, like, Perth on that West Coast team to perform, you know, to make finals, but also just don't put up performances like this, right?
Never happened. We were just
Do you
never
live
up.
in WA, Shannon?
No.
Which state are you from?
SA.
SA. And why do you barrack for the Eagles?
Yeah, it's just a team I like. Following a WA team.
No, fair enough.
Fair enough. To each their own. There's a bunch of Victorians here who barrack for teams interstate. So, you know, same thing would apply for you, I guess. How long have you barracked for the Eagles for?
Yeah, quite for a while.
So you were a fan already before their grand final? Very good.
I know.
Very nice. There you go. Cause has given you some encouragement. At least West Coast nearly won the waffle this week.
Yeah.
What was the score?
Oh, come on. It's not funny.
How close were they, Causa?
It was 98-98.
Oh, you got some points at least.
It was a
Oh, man.
a draw.
You're a bad man.
They got some points, man. They got some points. That's fine. There was a draw. Actually, there is one thing that I love to play when there was a draw. Have you heard that there is a theme song that is played that is the draw song? Have you guys heard of that one?
No.
No, I have not.
All right, let me just. It's a draw. Both the teams are even. No one's lost, but no one's won. I love that part. But no one's won.
It just sounds bad, Joe.
Mate,
nobody wants that.
It's up and about, bro. Up and about. It's a bit of a draw. Both people get some points. Both people go home. It's all good.
Mate, I think some people would rather just the loss. To be fair.
Stop it. It was just a draw.
It was a draw. Jonas is asking, Sunday, July 30th, West Coast versus Kangaroos at Optus Stadium. Who have you got?
Well, it's at Optus, so West Coast probably win.
Yeah, it's at home. We should probably win it.
Interesting.
think you guys have it.
I think it
Generally.
was round 19 we play North Melbourne. We've got Richmond coming up, and then we've got North, because we're going to spank yous.
Oh, those
Right.
are some fighting words.
we got no defenders. Like I'm just being realistic, man. You're probably going to win. I don't like to fight kind of the feelings, but yeah, we're not in a great position, Hump.
You're just never going to win against us. Even at home, it's still our fortress.
Yeah.
Ben, I'll get him a draw. 0-0.
I keep roasting him.
Ah,
Oh my god, that's a good one, Vin. So Vin bangs for Collingwood, I'm pretty sure. So he's loving himself up there. But yeah, look at that. Jonas, them fighting words. Big Johnson is speechless.
I bet North Melbourne will win the wooden spoon 3 years in a row.
that's all right. We'll take the pick, and then we'll get pick 2 because Mackay, and then we'll get Caddy and Watson, and then we'll be happy. So go for it. I don't know. Actually, no, we'll take what's his face, Harley Reid, and then we'll take Nick Watson or Caddy, and then we've actually got some half decent players. So yeah, all for it, man. The AFL, right? It sucks. Once you get to a certain point, though, you either win or you lose. So I'd rather lose by a lot
Or
and
you
get a
draw.
good pick.
Or you draw.
That's true. But I'd rather lose and get the good draft pick than be like, oh, well, we played and we got fourth last. Well, 5 other teams get to pick their players before us now. I'd rather have it. We get the choice of everybody. The best player is the one that we pick.
I'd rather lose the best. I'd rather lose the worst than have some self-respect.
Yeah. Mate, I go for North Melbourne, Joe. Our self-respect's gone out the window.
Mate, when
last
Clarko
4 years
comes
since
back,
since
when's
Brad-
Clarko coming back?
What you yapping? North already got spanked by Geelong.
Only. You got spanked by Geelong. It's fine.
Mate,
Everyone
you
gets
guys
spanked
lost by
Geelong.
200 points 2 weeks ago. What nonsense are you talking about? 200 points.
I've never seen
Your
a
players got
team
stuck in the
in
bathroom
such
and didn't even come
shambles.
back at half time.
Those are some fighting words. Big Shannon's coming out swinging.
North are just terrible. They should have never sacked David Noble. They should have kept him. But no, they decided to kick him out and bring in Alistair Clarkson, who originally was going to go to Essendon, but that plan backfired. So now he's at North. And
Mate,
I got
can
the
we
sack, and he
rename
got
this
assistant coach job
Can we
at
rename
North.
the stream West Coast Eagles supporter trashes North? Can we make that the new stream head?
Nah, I'm sorry. Joe.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Sniffing that West Coast performance must have really changed his brain chemistry here, because he's talking nonsense, Joe.
Mate, Jonas, this is a good question. How many AFLW teams could beat West Coast and the Kangas at the moment?
Mate.
Dandy Stingrays, perhaps. The Dandy Stingrays. We'll go with the. I reckon the Dandy Stingrays.
North Melbourne VFL team has actually won a few games. We've actually decent. We beat Geelong. We beat Geelong this week, so there's something there. But the AFL team just stinks.
Yeah, alrighty.
Oh, if you think 8 teams can beat North, but I'm going one up better. I'm going 9.
All right, we'll see, Shannon. We'll see in a couple of weeks, mate. Don't you worry.
Chessa, look at this. Vin's coming in. Chessa has a better chance of winning Rising Star than Wet Toast winning another game this season, including against North. What do you have to say to that?
There is no way Campbell Chesser will be able to win the Rising Star, not with his performance.
Yes,
Yeah,
and he's saying that as impossible as it is for Chesser to win the Rising Star, your chance of winning another game is even less than that.
Because if he wants to win it, he's got to get a nomination first.
Yeah, all right. I think this is a whoosh moment here. Sorry, Vin. It wasn't lost on us, all right? Yeah, alrighty. All right, Shannon. Thank you so much for them fighting words. Make sure, I'd love to see in a couple of weeks' time when you guys play each other. Fan Cams is going to be a lot of fun that week.
I think I might be sick. We'll see what happens.
Oh,
Nah,
Wet
I'll
coat
be here.
weasel for the win, says Jonas.
I'll be here.
Wet coat weasels. Alrighty.
oh.
Awesome.
See you, Shannon. Catch you next week.
Have a good one, Shannon.
I know.
See you, mate.
Well, that was fun, Joe. I come on my own show and get yelled at by the fans. What is this nonsense?
Mate, this is amazing. I've never seen someone who barracks for a team that is in so much shambles throw so many fighting words at another team before. That is remarkable to me.
Yep. Not happy, Jam.
All right. This guy wanted to talk, couldn't wait to talk North Melbourne with you.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense to bring Causer on right now, especially after all them fighting words were coming your way from Shannon. What do you have to say, Causer? How do you respond?
Yeah, we should do Causer versus Shannon boxing match. Screw Logan Paul. Causer versus Shannon boxing.
Causer versus Shannon. Let's go.
Done.
How's it going, Causer?
Yeah, I think North should. Yeah, good.
It's funny though because I think we play Hawthorn this
another week.
Clarko's supposed to come back, so we'll actually see what happens. But I'm not holding my breath at the moment.
I think shocking. Or it's the week after, I think.
Yeah, one of the
19.
two. One of the two. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
But he won't come back straight into coaching, though, right? Isn't that the understanding?
I think he might be potentially doing some like part-time stuff, but like he should be there at least on game day.
Yeah,
right.
I think that's what it was supposed to be. Yeah.
Very good, very good. Vin's asking, he didn't catch the North game. Why on earth was Zeeble the sub?
I just think, I don't know, but they have been a lot of the time playing younger players than the older players. So, like, Cunnington's playing well in the VFL, but can't get a game. And then obviously Goldie played good today in the VFL, and then may not even play because Sherry played good, and stuff like this. So it's like all the older guys are getting like less, and then more of the younger players are, because I think they wanted to play Lockie Young. I think Lockie Young over Zeeble. Lockie Young and Perez over Zeeble this week. So
yeah. I think this season's basically turned into working out who's going to stay and who's going to go. And
I agree.
Zeeble, but I really think it was a case of, well, if we get any injuries up forward, we can throw Zeeble in there. If we get any problems in the back line, we can put Zeeble in there. Unfortunately, Logue got out early, and then Zeeble had to go into that back line. But
it sort of cost. It sort of cost. And it cost Sheasel's role today. Sheasel's role got when he came on, he got shafted to the forward line, and it caught, and he was like on fire, and then it kind of.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think, as we've spoken before, Joe, and as we're speaking now, Causer, it's kind of just been a case of, well, 7 more rounds to go until the season's finished. Let's work out who of the 15 or so people that are left uncontracted, who we're going to get rid of, because there needs to be clear changes across the board everywhere. I'm expecting another 10 plus people going. We've got players on the list who aren't even AFL quality anywhere. So
like Aiden Bonner's one.
Yeah,
Aiden Bonner's one.
So yeah, get rid of him.
He's definitely one because he played terrible. Because I'm just thinking who's going to be the replacement for Logue.
Yeah,
like apparently I've heard it could be his ACL. I've heard that it could be his ACL as well.
That's
Logue. Yeah,
maybe it'll be might be Dawson. Might be Dawson.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking because I thought Aiden Bonner's not like the for like as well, and he didn't play good today either.
And Dawson can at that point can at least play for his contract as well, which I think is a big thing for a lot of players because he's up for contract at the end of the year. So give him the
I think
next
that's right,
7
yeah.
or so games to decide if we're going to keep him or not.
He's a good player, Dawson.
Yeah.
I remember when we watched the Essendon versus North game last year, Big J. I thought he did a lot of very nice things in that game.
Yeah,
so
I'm not sure why he hasn't got a game like recently. But it is what it is, I suppose.
Yeah,
players and teams can see something a bit different, so sucked in, I suppose.
Yeah.
Causa, this one's for you from Jonas. 14 on the lost suicide prevention day. Better be before Sunday, July 3rd. Come on, mate. Not to that extent, Jonas. Come on, mate. It's all good.
It should be. We should be right. If we can play like we did in that second half, we should be all right against West Coast.
Yeah. Apparently, like Tom Stewart got moved.
If we beat West,
and a few other things as well. So, like they had to play.
Yeah, he did. He was playing. No, Tom Stewart was playing on in the third quarter. At the start of the third quarter, he started as a centre bounce mid.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So they're playing against us. They're playing against us at points. So at least
there was
they were basically doing some practice runs, huh?
Yeah, they were. In 7 minutes, they scored 50 points or something. It was like seven.
That first
quarter. It was 50 points. 50 points in the first quarter in 7 minutes or something.
Yeah,
that is ridiculous.
I got excited. I was like, North Melbourne, we've scored 2 goals, and then we only scored 2 goals.
Yeah, for the rest of that half, we scored like 1 behind or something.
Yeah, it's rough being a fan, but
it was
like I swear, clubs
not great viewing.
Clubs just like let it go easy at the end as well. So they'll stand back and be like, okay, let's let North Melbourne get a few junk time points. So it's only 40-point loss. It's not like an 80-point loss, just to appease the fans a little bit, you know?
No, because I thought it was going to be over 100. At one stage, I thought it was going to be over 100-point loss.
Yeah, it should have been.
And then
it should have been.
It's a rough situation to be in. You're not the first and only team though to get pummeled by the Cats in Geelong. It's a very normal occurrence.
Well, we lost by at least we did better. At least we did better than last year, which was over 100 points.
Correct. You're a much better side this year. But what happened to Wardlaw? Why was he late out?
So apparently with Wardlaw, in the last 48 hours, he had like flu-like symptoms or something. He was like sick, illness or something, and apparently he didn't have enough energy, so they pulled him out quite late, I think it was, because when it came up, there was no late changes, and then a few minutes later, like with about 40 minutes to go or half an hour to go, they had Wardlaw out for Lazaro.
Right.
I mean, it happens, right? Sometimes.
You need to start backing your gut with your captain calls, Causa. Back your gut, mate. You will bounce back. I have the. That's nice of you, Jono. Yeah. Very nice of you to say that, mate.
At least
I had a bad week. That's why.
I got an over something score this week, so I was pretty happy. I think I got an over like 130 score.
No, I got 24-13. Mine was terrible.
I went down.
I had a horrible
spots. Not great.
Yeah, I went down 1,200 spots as well, and it was like I scored 24-13. It was terrible.
What happened there?
I had all week. I had Dacos vice captain, and then changed it to Bont. And the problem was and then I also was deciding between Neil, Track, Libba, and Chera all week, and then I always wanted Libba, and then I decided to go Libba over Neil. So I was missing out this week I missed out on all the antipods were because we're going so well, and because I didn't have Steele when I traded Day to Doherty as well. So
yeah,
but I know that worked out, but even, but I mean it was just everything else just went so wrong.
Yeah, it's really frustrating, right? Like I traded out all
because I didn't have Marshall for one. I had Briggs over Marshall, so it was like there's 40 points lost, and and then there was no Luke Ryan for me. There was no Steele, no Neil. Like people were getting captain on Neil, and I had to stick with Bond 123, and then I had Sheldrick 53, and there's my cover for Dunkley, and I couldn't obviously swap Dunkley to trade him out. So
it's a rough one. Next year we'll do better.
So
Next year will be better. Absolutely. So fingers crossed for North. It is it has, you know,
I think so.
You'll win some games. I reckon you'll beat West Coast in a couple of weeks' time as well. I think even if it is at home, I think you guys are playing a much better brand of football. By then, Clarko might be back, and with Clarko back, there should be some more winning to be had as well.
You hear that, Shannon? We're going to win. You hear that? Even Joe says we're going to win. So watch out, mate.
What do you mean even Joe says? What's that supposed to mean?
I've always thought for weeks on weeks that North should beat West Coast.
Yeah.
100%. All righty then. Thank you so much for
all good.
Coming on, mate. We've got a couple people waiting in the wings. It was good talking North Melbourne. Fingers crossed for you guys this week, man.
Have a good one.
Looking forward to talking to you next week, buddy.
Will do.
See you, man. Have a good one. Bye. All righty. The link is in the description, guys, for everybody who wants to come on. All right. So it's there. Oh, look at this. Hippo's in. G'day, Hippo. How's it going, man? Hey, his Blues. They're back. Hippo's Blues.
They're doing all right. It's going to be interesting because Port Adelaide's playing them this week. And the Blues key forwards are doing well, and Port Adelaide's missing a couple of key defenders. So really hope that Alir can actually stand up and cover all these players. Otherwise, Port might not be 13. They might be 13-1 next week.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So I guess we'll bring on our next guest now. It is someone who's been waiting in the wings for some time. It is
come on.
D. Highest. How's it going, mate?
Oi.
Hello. Can you hear us?
Hello.
Can you hear us? We can hear you. Can you hear us?
I can't hear you. Hello?
Yes, beautiful. Who do you barrack for?
Could you just pick up some?
Who do you barrack for?
No, I don't think he can hear us, Joe.
He can't hear us.
No, that's all right.
Could you try screaming? I might be able to hear that.
What is that accent?
I'm good, Joe. I'm good.
What an amazing accent.
I'm good. Anyway, yeah.
Oh boy. We might be having some technical difficulties here. Trying to...
Let me grab the next person. Hey, Jono, how you going?
Good, boys. You lads? Good yourself?
Yeah.
50-50?
Yeah. The week that working week coming up, so I'm more worried about that than how my team went at this point.
Fair enough.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I work today, watching the cricket while I'm talking to you at the same time. So trying to keep.
Well, how are we doing? How are we doing, mate?
The Poms are 3 for 119.
Oh, okay. So we've racked up 3 wickets in the next 80 or so runs.
So Duckett's gone, Crawley's gone, and who's the other one? Ali batted at number 3, mowing.
Yeah,
number 3. So
fingers crossed we can keep going.
Mate,
you must be so proud of you boys.
How many more do we need to get? Like, what's the run rate or the run chase?
They need 251 as the target, and they're 119, so 132.
So it's doable. We can win.
Yeah. Just need to keep the pressure on from both ends. Let them make a mistake.
Yeah. You must be really proud, though, of your boys on Friday night, because was it Friday night or Saturday night? Sorry, which night was it?
Night.
Saturday night.
Last night.
Yeah, I mean, you guys had so much go against you, and yet you you broke even in just about all of the stats. You know what I mean? Like, you kept the pressure on them. You kept trying. Yeah, except the scoreboard. Like, you guys absolutely busted your asses. You know what I mean? I was really impressed with you guys.
Yeah. I was because I was home by myself, but because mum and dad went and watched the game because I had work, so they got invited down to the President's dinner, so they enjoyed that. They left me to scream out the house, make a racket of noise for the neighbourhood.
I love it.
So it was all good and fun, but good effort. Disappointed about King today.
Yeah, I know, right?
Out of him, so we'll see what our forward line mix is this week against Gold Coast.
It's a bit of a tough one as well. Just kind of his form this year, coming off injury, and then plays 5 or 6 games, and then he's out from injury again.
Yeah,
not great.
It's cruel, very cruel, and it would have been against his brother for first or second time as well.
Are they the same person?
Yeah, hold on. I'm getting Max in the door right now.
Yeah, exactly. Sports not here saying that the Saints look good, just couldn't get over the line. Like, for him to go down so early, you know what I mean? And Stephen May just was...
There's a reason why Melbourne paid up to get him to come across. There's a reason why Melbourne gave up pick 6 for him like 5 years ago, and he's still as good as he is now. Like, this guy is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
How many intercept marks did he take? Like, it was just something ridiculous. He was just a wall
8 or 9.
8 or 9. He's just a wall back there, and I just felt like even in the last quarter, a lot of it, and was you guys rallying and trying to lock the ball in your forward 50. That the territory battle, I thought, was in your favor, and you just couldn't find the goals. Just couldn't find enough.
And then even with a Mitcho and snap it, the ball's not going to bounce in for you. You can go.
No.
You can relive the 2010 grand final again.
It's almost as bad as what happened to Paul Curtis today. I don't know if you've seen the footage.
Yeah,
the ball dropped like this far off the line, and he's like, "Yeah, I kicked the goal," and then I think it was Stewart or someone else just ran it through, and then it kept going.
It was like Jamara. Jamara against Mason Clock. Against Collingwood. He goes and ribs Mason Clock, and it's like, mate, the ball hasn't gone in.
I guess the good thing about St Kilda, right, is that for that long period of time, like at the start of the season when you guys were doing well, King wasn't in. And now King's out again. So you kind of know what your strengths are and who can cover positions. It's obviously not the start of the season, but Steele's come into form a little bit. A few of the other players have come into form. So like Membry or someone else will come in, and then, you can feel King being out. You can still make finals. It's not kind of the, not the end of the world.
No, Membry's still, I think he was 6 to 8 a few weeks ago, so I think he's still about a month away. So it'll be Caminiti and Owens and Philippou and Higgins and Butler.
You can play a small forward line. That's sort of what you were doing in the first half of the year. That was holding you in great stead, especially in the wet as well. Right now we're playing in wet weather footy. You can bring the ball to ground. Obviously, if you're playing at Marvel, that's not a big deal. But still, having the speed on your ball movement, and rather than being stuck in your ways of the high and long bombs. You're now forced to lower the eyes, and that's when you're at your most dangerous, because you do have some good kicks in your team.
Yeah, Nazai's just a freak to watch.
Hey, it's frustrating because we had him at the start of the year in Supercoach, and then now he comes good. I don't know.
Could it be a starting option next year? Who knows?
Yeah,
it could be.
Exactly.
I mean, 33 disposals, 24 kicks, 7 marks. He was sensational. Absolutely. And he's played less than 50 games. This is his second season, and he's now got a career best for his. So that's sensational. The development in him and the new role he's flourishing. So that's a proactive move by Ross the Boss.
Yeah, I always thought we'd play him on halfback or wing, but halfback sees go.
Well, North definitely needs to draft someone like him this year. Just can play off that position. But the fantastic thing for him as well is it really frees up Sinclair to kind of do whatever he wants. There was a bit of that at the start of the season where, I'm still a halfback, but now he's playing everywhere, and it's not like you're losing out on the position.
100%. 100%.
Sinclair's an everywhere man. I mean, he also had a lot of the peel and featuring a lot in the midfield. I think he's really pushing up this year a lot more than last year. I think he's really trying to get involved in the play and being a receiver, if not running away from a clearance. But he's having a lot of ball kicking forwards from the midfield into your forward line, and he's really dynamic. He also had 33 disposed on the weekend, so he's been again, building on what he did last year.
Yeah, well, it sort of helped with, didn't help, but when Ross went down, we needed another rotation through there. So obviously, you had to go through there a bit more. Jones went through there a bit more. So,
and the skipper.
Yes, the skipper is back.
Talk to us about the skipper. There was a period of time. Yeah, there was a period of time where we weren't speaking in glowing terms about that man.
No.
On this channel not too long ago.
When was that ago? No, I can't remember.
The thief Jonas, I think, was calling him Jack Thief.
Yeah, I think the thief is gone and Steelman is back.
Yeah,
it's Robin Hood.
For the moment.
He was Robin Hood. He was stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. So he was stealing in a good way. He was, mate.
The Good Samaritan.
The Good Samaritan. 31 positives.
Yeah, it's nice to see him. Like, I know we've spoken on the pod before, Joe, and kind of just in person about how Crouch always seems to take a lot of his ball. And when Crouch does well, Steele doesn't do well, especially like on the tackle count. But it's really nice to kind of see today, like how well he actually did. Just pulling up the stats now, it was something like 11 or 12 tackles.
Yeah, 12 tackles.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty good, To
go with
really stepping up and doing a lot more. And, Crouch had 4, but still both of them worked really well in that midfield mix.
Yeah. Even Marshall, I think, right about 6 or 7.
Yeah, 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
Marshall was on fire today, man. Holy moly.
Yeah. I'm glad I've still got him as a Saints man.
How happy are you? Right. Were you a little bit worried at the start of the season when, obviously Paddy Ryder had left and things like that, where Marshall was left alone? Were you a bit concerned, hey, he needs a second player as a ruckman, or is he actually able to really stand up and kind of be the sole ruckman in the team?
I was a little bit concerned, but then not sure when it was tweeted. It was either January or February that Mitch Cleary had tweeted that he'd been doing running sessions with Brad Hill and been keeping up with him.
Okay.
During the summer. So I'm like, he's going to have a tank to run out games. And if it comes to a time that if it's needed, it will happen. And he showed that last night. Going up against Gordon Grundy's no easy beat. But he took him to town last night.
Yeah.
And here we have the ever optimistic, the ever happy, the beacon of hope on our channel, Jonas. Again, he will go down injured before the season ends, I guarantee.
I'll be coming for you, Jonas, if he does. Watch your back door,
find out where you live, Jonas.
Yeah. Watch your back door, mate. No. Always thought
by Jonas as well. Melbourne traded Jesse Hogan for pick 6, which was then sent to Gold Coast for Stephen May. So,
who went pick 6 that draft?
It's a good question. It's a very good question.
I got a feeling King. Ben King.
Oh, right. They ended up swapping King for May.
Yeah, I'd do that. If I was Gold Coast, like, the guy wanted to be out anyway. So,
Yeah, but
it wasn't
imagine
like,
King at Melbourne.
yeah, no, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, who would Melbourne prefer? Would Melbourne prefer a generational forward, or would they prefer? Well, clearly they've won a flag, right? So
Yeah.
I guess in hindsight, you can say they've got a flag and they're in contention for another one now. But would they have won that flag if they had King in their team instead of
personally, I reckon it's the defender. I think really finding really good defenders is incredibly hard, especially good key defenders that are mobile, who can do kickings and taking intercepts and things like that. Like, you know, we've seen Van Ruin come in and kick bags on teams. It's all just about delivery in the forward line. But actually being able to nullify your opposition in the back line is something that's really hard to do. So getting those players for just a single pick is like any day of the week, you got to do it.
Yeah. Generational talents, intercept defenders.
Yeah.
Well, that's
you
right.
don't have to be. You don't have to be the best key forward in the league. You just have to be accurate. So as long as you can take him up, accurate.
So maybe they don't need King. Maybe they don't need May because they've got Lever.
Good teams have two. Good teams have two. You can't just rely on one.
So Collingwood have what?
They've had yeah, and they have Howe running through there as well. So they've got a few people who can take intercepts.
Oh yes, Globes, Himmelberg, yes, please.
I think there's a lot of clubs that are going to be asking for his services this year, so he's going to be getting some big money. There's a reason why.
Big compensation. Big compensation coming the Giants' way.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so but yeah, Marshall was sensational. I thought Marshall single-handedly beat Gordon Grundy last night. He was epic. It was epic. A lot of defensive efforts as well. I mean, he also had did he have like seven tackles, I think, 10 marks, and no, he was sensational. I love Rowan's game. I mean,
yeah, I couldn't ask for anything more. He did it all. He did it all last night.
Even Dougal Howard was pretty good. Even Dougs was pretty good. There was a couple of weeks ago where he did really bad in the wet weather, but I think he's come back really well.
Yeah, he turned it on in the last quarter when they sort of repelled, trying to go inside 50. He was intercept marking, so that sort of stopped their scoring. So that helped.
What do you reckon about the rest of the season now? So we've now leapfrogged you guys with our win against the Crows today. So you've slipped a little. The fight for the top 8 is well and truly still heating up. Carlton have been winning now. They're sort of they're knocking on the door a little bit. Richmond, they beat the Swans. They're still knocking on the door. A lot of teams fighting for the 8. With these injuries, can you see yourself still steadying the ship and maintaining a spot in the 8?
I think if the boys continue to play with effort and fight every week, we'll get there. But if there's 1 week where it's not switched on up here, we'll go down.
Yeah,
that's everybody.
I think Carlton's really the smoky at this point. Like, they've got to win a couple of games, but they're only 2 wins kind of away from where you are on the ladder. So yeah, I think they're on fire. They might come 9th again. They might just push into finals, which would be fantastic for the fans and for the club. But it's really about you guys being able to say, okay, reset. King's not playing the rest of the season. What can we do? How do we fix this?
Yeah, so Gold Coast this week, North, Hawthorn, Carlton, Richmond, Geelong.
Yeah.
All those games are at Marvel apart from Gold Coast, and then get Brisbane in the last round up there.
Yeah. So, the first 3 you just mentioned, they're pretty winnable games for you guys. Right? Gold Coast, North, Hawthorn. Like, you guys should be pretty close to winning those games. That's 3 wins on the ladder. So, still decent.
4 down.
Yeah.
I feel like you want to do a live ladder predictor, Big J?
England's 4 down.
Oh, nice. Alrighty. Lovely.
Root out.
Cup that fish. Alrighty. All right. would love to get the chat's input in this, just so that there is no bias. Okay, that I'm trying to meddle with this to try and get Essendon into the 8. All right, we're going to be as objective with this as possible. All right. Swans hosting the Dogs at the SCG. I'm personally.
Are we going to
leaning-
do between now and the end of the season? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I want to see him next the 8.
All right, cool. Done.
I reckon.
I reckon Swans
the
are
Dogs.
hard. I reckon Swans are hard to beat at home, even with
Jono?
Lloyd potentially out. Wow.
Yeah, Lloyd's out, so I don't think we're going to win.
I reckon they're hard to beat.
See, Sportsnut goes Dogs.
Yeah, but Swans
Jono?
record at home, man. How do you beat Swans record at home?
It's a shame you
3,
can't tip a draw.
2, 1. You got to pick one.
Dogs.
Beautiful. Enough people have voted for the Dogs, so we'll go the Dogs.
Sure.
Melbourne hosting Brisbane at the MCG. You'd think Melbourne, right? No?
You would think with the record.
You think with the record? Yeah. All right. Melbourne. Collingwood hosting Freo at the MCG. I think it's
Collingwood.
Collingwood.
You can't beat.
I reckon we're all unanimous with the Saints beating the Suns.
Yep.
Cool. Oh, gee, the odds are saying $2.30 for the Saints.
Yeah.
I'd
If
get
you're
on
gonna
that.
gamble responsibly. Okay.
Yes.
If all right, all right, yeah, we're going. Oh, Jonas reckons the Suns. Jonas, are you being mean here to Dono on purpose? That's them fighting words, mate. Carlton hosting Port at Marvel, if you don't mind.
Nah,
I'm leaning Port.
Ooh. Yeah, you'd think Port. I think that the fair odds say Port, but
Yeah.
Carlton, this is the game. Next week is really the game to see if Carlton's actually back or if they've dispersed 3 shitty teams.
They have
because-
played 3 shitty teams. They have.
Carlton's hard, man.
No, I reckon Port probably have the best winning rate record at Marvel Stadium. I think they have the longest winning streak at Marvel.
Yeah, they do.
Port Adelaide.
Yeah.
So I'm leaning Port. Jonas says
me.
Blue Boys. So Jonas says Blues. I say Port. Big J, are you back in Blues as well?
Yep.
So you're saying Blues? Jono,
Yeah.
who do you say?
Fort.
Port. All right. We need someone in the comments to be the tiebreaker. Who wins? Port.
I was going to say,
Sportsnut says Port, but close. Alright.
for argument's sake, put Carlton for now, and then we can see if where they finish at the end of the year.
Interesting. Well, because Jonas says Port are due to get effed up. So, all right, we'll go with Carlton. Geelong for this one. I can't see us beating the Cats in Geelong. Not happening. We all agree with that?
Yep,
Yeah, sure.
Agreed. Lock it in.
Adelaide hosting the Giants at Adelaide Oval. Adelaide are tough to beat at home.
Crows.
Yeah. Oh, so now Global and Causa are both now telling me Port. You should have said so earlier. God damn it. North v Hawks at
No,
Marvel.
Hawks going to win.
Oh, jeez.
Hawks are going to win. There's no way they don't win.
Yeah, I'm leaning Hawthorn personally.
Sicily comes back. Our forward line's in shambles. The team's a mess. I really don't see us winning a single game.
Yeah, I agree. The Hawks win that one. And then surely Richmond get the dub against the Eagles.
Yeah.
Oh, Globes are saying North.
No.
Globes. That's all right. All right. So with this, if the games go as expected like this, Adelaide back in the 8, we slip out of the 8. St Kilda go back up to 5th. Geelong in the 8. Alrighty. Interesting. Nothing's changed in the top. Even with a Port loss, they still sit pretty here because we've tipped Melbourne to beat the Lions. So things are stable. In the following week, far out, man. Our run is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm backing us to win.
Sure.
Yeah.
Richmond obviously beat them, and then
Yep.
Carlton beat
Carlton.
Eagles.
Yep. This one, Gabba.
No, you can't beat Brisbane. Brisbane at home.
Can't beat Brisbane, Gabba.
Yeah.
Optus Stadium, Freo or Sydney.
Swans.
Yeah, the Freo have been playing bad. I'll leave it with the Swans. Fish. What a game. Piss off, Jonas. No, we're going to beat them, not the Dogs. Piss off. All right. Who wins this one?
I think Port's too hard to beat at home.
At home?
Yeah.
The home factor?
Never tear them apart, you know.
Plus,
It's a shame you can't trip a draw.
No. Plus, in this, we would have tipped Port to lose the week before, right? So maybe this week Port have got to rocket up them. They have to bounce back. They're at home. We'll go with Port. Jonas, the umpires will win. Port. Look, it's a toss of the coin, Globes. I reckon the Pies are insanely good, but we'll back Port in here. Giants at home against the Suns. Giants.
Yeah. Lock it in.
Lock it in, Eddie. Jeez. It's playing at the MCG. Melbourne hosting Adelaide. Will Adelaide have fixed their travelling problems by then? No. Melbourne?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think in general, just Melbourne, potentially Oliver's back. Or maybe not, considering his leg.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. But yeah.
All right.
Petrarca will go 200 instead.
Yeah.
Trainers?
Yeah.
Yep. Jonas! He's accused us of being demon worshippers. Mate. This guy.
They're just good players, mate. What do you want?
I know we're good friends here, but geez, that's not something that you say to. That's not a nice thing to say. Global North to beat the Saints. I swear, Global's just throwing a curveball into every single one of these.
Hey man, keeps it interesting, Joe.
It does. On your Globes, I love you, mate. Never change. Pies get the job done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cats get the job done.
Yeah.
Mars.
GWS.
Who plays better at Mars?
GWS. No.
GWS.
Doggies.
Oh.
Yeah, I think the dogs play phenomenal there, but I do think like GWS come out of nowhere and like they have a run home for finals.
Guys, who wins this one? Dogs or Giants? While we're waiting for people to put, while people are talking, Jonas says doggies. I reckon Lions get this one, yeah?
Yeah.
I reckon we get this one at home.
Mm-hmm.
Port kill him.
Port kill him?
Yeah.
Kill him, you say?
It's not home. Where's the home ground advantage? They're both Adelaide teams playing in Adelaide. There's
Correct.
no home ground advantage.
It's the showdown, bruv.
Yeah. So
It's an away game.
Adelaide win the last showdown?
it doesn't matter. Port's too good.
Yeah, but they lost. This is the same team that lost to them last time.
Tex Walker's going to do something stupid by round 12, like round 20, and get suspended or in trouble again, and then he's going to be out, and then yeah.
Yes, Jonas, you said it, bro. You said it, mate. Who wins this one? I'm gonna lead Port. I'm gonna lean Port. I reckon Port do win, but I don't think it's a smashing.
Yeah.
Jono, you reckon you agree? Port wins? Or
Jordan Dawson special after the siren.
That's it. Right. But they have to be close enough. They have to be close enough.
Change it over. Adelaide's going to win. Change it over.
All right. Keep it. Make it interesting. Yeah, you're right. Hawks v Sainers. Marvel. You guys have to redeem yourself from the last one, right?
Yeah. Sicily's not scoring 160 this time, right?
He might.
Yeah, he will.
Look at
The
this.
ball's going to be in their defensive line.
Hawkins, Jack Steele to break down. Oh, this is fun. MCG, Richmond v Melbourne. Are we worshipping these demons again?
Tigers.
Well, there's no home ground advantage, really.
For
And
this
Melbourne
one, we
fans
have to
will
check the
play.
weather. We have to
Yeah.
check the weather. If it's raining, then these guys for sure.
30th of July weather. Yeah, Richmond. No,
Depends how
I
long
don't think
the rain's
Richmond.
out for, too.
I think Melbourne win. I think Stephen May and Lever, if they're both playing, they just murder anyone else who's Richmond's got in that forward line. Like, there's going to be no marks going to Jack Reebok that game.
Oh, Jonas, who's worshipping the demons now? This guy. All right, fine. We'll worship them with you, mate.
And here we go. This is the Humphrey Cup.
The Humphrey Cup? What do you mean the
Humphrey
Zach
Cup.
Reid Cup? The Harley
The
Reid Cup, I mean.
Harley Reid
Uh,
Cup.
It's got to be North, surely, right?
Yeah. The only problem is like West Coast percentage, I think, has actually gone up in the last 2 weeks. So like they've got to win 2 games and we've got to win none.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only issue.
Alrighty, we'll move on. How are we looking with the ladder? We're in
How did
sixth.
we?
Still fifth.
We gave them a win, didn't we? We gave North a win. I was going to say, how did we end up on 12 points? But
Yeah, you beat West Coast.
Joe just gave them. So it's not. Yeah. We
You
can't
just
win.
beat West Coast. That was the last game we did, bro. How could you
That's
forget
what
that?
I'm saying. So we're not going to get Harley Reid then, because there's
No,
no
you
way
won't.
West Coast is going to win 2 more games.
Oh, gee, Freo just free falling.
Yeah, they
Which is
haven't-
fantastic for Melbourne because
Yeah.
they've got Freo's first round pick. So Freo's in real trouble.
All right.
Like
This
Melbourne's going to get a fantastic player with that pick. If it's
Yeah.
either a player or they're going to trade up and grab a Harley Reid or someone. Like
Yeah.
Melbourne with another top 5 pick. Come on, man.
I'm just doing the easy ones. This one,
Yeah.
Marvel Stadium. Doggies hosting Richmond.
Dogs.
Richmond. They don't play Marvel much. There's no soul there, right?
Oh, that's true. So put it on the other team.
So it's got to be the Bulldogs. I've got us to beat the Eagles. I've got the Crows at home to beat the Suns. I've got Collingwood to beat the Hawks. GMHBA Stadium. Geelong hosting Port. Who wins this one? Calm the draw?
Nah, I think Port win. I don't think Geelong can really run out a game. So I'm pretty sure Port's got them in the bag fairly easy.
Michael agrees with you, but Sportsnut says Cats.
Nah, the young players from the Cats just can't cover like Rosie and Butters. They'll just
Global
get
says
slaughtered.
Cats. So we've got 2 in the comments says Cats. You say 1 says Port. You say Port. Jono, who do you say?
Port.
Port.
They're too
And I'll say Port just because I don't want another bigger tiebreaker. We'll go with Port. But the Global's right. The Cats should have some players back by then, so that there won't be as many youngsters out there. Will that allay
but-
your concerns about the young players, Big J?
No, because the mature ages at that club are just so much better anyway.
Very
Like-
well. Port
Like,
Adelaide is
they're
there.
just better.
Causa
players.
also says Port. All right. Port it
Players
is.
better.
Giants hosting the Swans. Giants?
Swans.
I reckon Giants. I reckon Briggs will dominate this game.
Yeah, but
Danger
Briggs will
Briggs
dominate.
won't play then.
But
I
Gordon will
swear,
come in and
Jonas,
go,
Jonas is
But
counting
Gordon
on like
will
half the league
deliver.
to be broken by this point of the season. Like, there's going to be no players left. You might as well just wrap the season up.
done.
Yeah.
No,
I'll
but
happy to
Gordon's
still
gonna
play finals
slaughter
by
them.
now.
Sportsnut says GWS. I say GWS. You say Sydney, Big J.
Yeah, I reckon Swans are going to murder.
Jono, who do you reckon?
There's a big sound from the west of the town.
Love it. Another Giants. Perfect. All right. Giants wins this one. I've got Melbourne to beat North. St Kilda v Carlton at Marvel.
Carlton.
Knock, knock.
Yeah,
Who's
I reckon
there?
Carlton.
Oh, When?
When the Saints come marching in. Alrighty. Causer says Giants again. Toby Green match winner. That would be epic. Oliver's nose could fall off when he's to win. Lloyd will be back apparently for the Swans against the Giants. True, but I'm not sure he'll be enough to win them the game. I don't think. Michael reckons Saints to win this one.
No.
So Jono and Michael both say Saints. Jonas reckons the Saints will get thrashed. So I assume he's tipping Carlton. Big J's tipping Carlton. So that's 2 apiece. I will say that
it's the run home. Like
it depends.
Carlton's run. Carlton's going to make a late play, and then the last game they're going to lose, so they can't make the finals.
I'll go Carlton. I'm sorry, Jono. I hope this is wrong. We'll go. We've got to spice up the season, mate. We need to have all these teams fighting for the 8. We're all so close. We're now up to round 22. So last 3 rounds of the season. Adelaide crawl their way back in by a draw. The Cats have slipped out. Carlton on even points, a game behind. Jeez, yeah, this is a close game, close season. All right, and it just gets hotter. Friday night footy. The Cats take it on the Pies at the MCG. Who wins this one?
Probably the Pies.
You reckon the Pies? The Pies are hot pies?
4 and 20.
4 and 20. The 4 and 25.
4 and 20. Yeah, the Pies.
Corey's slower than Jack Steele. Oh. Why you made me read that, mate? That's rough. Jonas, apologize, please. Pies, yeah? Pies. I think most people are saying pies. I say pies. Big J says pies. Jono, you by default are also saying pies. We win this one, I think. Swans v Suns at the SCG. Swans?
Bro, how can you not pick the Swans?
Swans. Yeah. Gabba, Brisbane. Just happens every time. Carlton v Melbourne. Is it Melbourne? It's Melbourne, yeah?
If Carlton win, are they 9th?
No, they're 8th. Wait, let's see.
No, I reckon you give them the win, and then they're going to lose like the next 2 games, and then get 9th again.
Let's do this. Marvel Stadium. Saints, yeah? Marvel Stadium?
Yeah.
And then Port.
Yeah.
Oh, if they win, they're 8th.
Yeah.
If they lose,
they have a chance. Yeah, then they have a chance. Let's do it. They're going to beat Melbourne. Stephen May's going to get the flu that week, and then they're going to.
So who slips out? Geelong.
Yeah.
Oliver's nose could fall off, and the D still win.
He's been sniffing his trout too much.
Exactly. He might be sniffing too much. His nose falls off. Nah. I'm gonna say Port win, bro. Nah, Port. I mean, Melbourne don't lose to Carlton. Come on.
All right.
How did Melbourne lose to Carlton?
Who knows, Joe?
Not letting Kasai kick a goal late.
Yeah, that would be beautiful.
Yeah, Mackay.
Mackay, yeah, on the full.
I almost want to tip Eagles against Freo in this game. I reckon they have one more win for the season.
All right, they have one more win for the season. They're still entrenched at the bottom of the level.
Yeah.
We'll put Carlton just for devil's advocate. All right, far out, another great game.
It's good. That's what it
Collingwood,
should be.
yeah?
Friday night footy should be fantastic. Yep.
Richmond.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. It's coming.
Marvel Stadium. Saints v Giants. Saints v Cats.
If Jeremy Cameron and Hawkins are fit, I reckon Geelong's got it.
Yeah, I reckon as well. They're tough to beat, these two.
Yeah.
Michael says here, surely Port or Pies need to lose a game, otherwise they'll get too cocky and lost in the grand final.
Yeah, probably.
Look, if they don't, then great success for the rest of us in the 8. Jonas reckons the Cats. I reckon the Cats. Adelaide Oval, Adelaide to beat the Swans at home.
Yeah,
Marvel
keeps things
Stadium,
interesting.
the Dogs to beat. Oh, that win just kicked Adelaide out.
All right.
Melbourne
Oh
could
no,
win that.
that's okay. Because you know why Carlton's not going to make the 8 because of percentage again. It's going to be fantastic.
Carlton at 8th.
Yeah, I know, but they're only behind
Here we go.
Adelaide on percentage. So if Adelaide
round.
win and Carlton
Last
lose,
round of the season. It all comes down to this.
yeah, Carlton's going
At
to
the
lose
Gabba.
to Marvel.
At the Gabba, it's got to be this. It's got to be the Lions at the Gabba.
Yep. And then,
Marvel
and then
Stadium.
Carlton's going to lose. No, GWS. No, don't. It's GWS. They're going to lose. It's going to be the home
All right.
again.
Let's do the certainties. All right. So
Yeah.
Collingwood beat us for sure.
No, I reckon they go. Oh, maybe.
Collingwood beats
Doesn't
us for
matter.
sure.
All right.
Who else
North.
is
Let's give
13?
North the win. Let's give North the last game of the season. Yeah.
North get the win at Blundstone. They love to play there. Oh, we'll give Adelaide the win. Oh, Adelaide at 7th now.
Yeah.
I love it. That's a nice one, Jonas. The Blue Beggars, because they're begging us to give them the win right now.
Yep.
Port at home, tough to win. Yeah, Globes, Bombers after the siren. Oh, that would be insane. That would be Anzac Day revenge.
And then
All
you
right.
guys make top 8, so that's pretty good for you.
And then we've
They've
got
just
Melbourne.
got to win a final.
Melbourne beat the Swans, yeah. Melbourne beat the Swans.
Yeah.
The Hawks beat the Dockers at home. GMHBA, you back Geelong, right? At home. And then Giants v.
Yeah, so I want Giants to win because then Carlton can't get up.
Oh, if Carlton win, they go 7th.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling you. If Carlton win, then they're in. If Carlton don't win, then they're out. So that's what it's going to be, Joe.
But we should have beaten them in the other round. So what?
Yeah, that's true.
Wait, did we give them the win? Did we give Carlton an upset at some point?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
And against Melbourne, bro, they don't lose. They don't beat Melbourne. Come on.
All right. Change Melbourne over and see if it matters.
It does.
Okay.
By changing the Melbourne one.
And I go back to like round 14. Round 24.
24.
Okay. Carlton missed out on.
Sportsnut reckons GWS winning surely against the Blues. Surely, he's saying.
Why not?
Just to add insult to injury. But we'll give it to him regardless. And so the 8 looks like this. As a result, the Saints hold on to 8th spot with all their injuries. They hold on for 8th, and they play us in week 1. Wait, how the hell are we 5th on the ladder? Didn't we lose to Collingwood and stuff?
Yeah, but you won enough. Like you gave yourself enough like dodgy wins.
Yeah,
Like against
say
the
we
Dogs.
lose to the Dogs.
Against the Dogs.
All
All
right.
right, keep going.
We lose to the Dogs.
Yeah.
Okay, we're still 7th.
All right.
That
and then
doesn't
go to
look
like
so good.
round 20. And then who'd you guys play? All right.
We beat
yeah,
the Swans at home.
Yeah, okay. I reckon you'll be close, but I'll give you that one.
We win there. And then we beat Eagles at home.
Nah.
Piss off, Big J. And then we beat you guys at home.
All right.
And then we beat the Giants, don't we? No?
Yeah, probably.
We don't? We do, yeah, I think.
Sure.
So, like, it's not really any dodgy wins, right? I've given us how many wins? So we lose to the Cats. We lose to the Dogs. We lose to...
You beat like North and West Coast.
Yeah, we beat North and West Coast, exactly. And we beat the Giants. So that's 3 wins. I've given us 3 wins. You know what I mean? Like it's not crazy what I've done. I think that's objective. So we travel to Adelaide and lose there. Excellent. To extend the frickin' drought. St Kilda stay in Victoria to play against the Dogs. Jonas, St Kilda won't make the 8. The loser will be begging for Grant Thomas to come back.
Essendon's going to lose their final again, so then they can't. And then they
You can do the finals predictor.
Yeah, you can. All right, week 1. Here we go. Week 1, Crows win. Yep. Listen, kill the win. Yeah.
Yes.
Gee, tough game.
Port.
If it's at home, Port wins.
It's at home.
Yeah, so Port wins. Yeah, okay.
Brisbane at home.
Win. Yeah, and then Melbourne
And Adelaide
wins.
and Melbourne at home.
Yeah.
I'm happy with this one because at home the Port are good.
Yeah. Well, it's Grundy. It's the Grundy Cup, right? Grundy finally gets his match and is like, "Hey, Collingwood, should you have got rid of me or should you kept me?" That's kind of the feeling.
Oh, King's birthday rematch. Bro, they're going to be training with Collingwood blasting over the PA system for a month, I reckon. Not even just for that week. They're going to be playing Collingwood.
I reckon Melbourne lead at halftime and then Collingwood come back.
Yeah. Michael says the Pies. I will say...
Yeah, I reckon Collingwood.
I can't see these bastards losing. They're too good.
Yeah.
I reckon the Pies win as well.
Ash Johnson's gonna take him to a grand final.
Ash
What
Johnson.
a name! Ash Johnson's gonna take him to a grand final. Oh, Mason Cox grand final again. Oh,
All right.
Joe.
All right. We're getting some answers. We're getting some answers. All right. So Michael says Pies.
Can you?
Michael says Pies. Big J says Pies.
Yeah.
Corey says Grundy kicks 4 and does another Tigers. So I reckon Cause is back in Melbourne. Sportsnut goes Pies. Jonas goes D's. Global goes D's. Ross goes D's. So we've got 4 on the D's. Bandwagon. 4 on the D's. 3 on the Pies. Jono, who do you go for?
Hot pies for sale.
The Pies. So 4 and 4. Jonas the power. Pissed off Jonas. We're not talking about the power right now. We've already put the power. Got the power to win. Look,
Power to rule.
Global. Clary's back and goes Peanuts. I get it. I get you. Clary would be huge. I'm going to say Melbourne. That's a tiebreaker. I'm going to go Melbourne.
Right.
5 on Melbourne, 4
That's
on the
going to be
Pies.
the real upset.
I would love that to happen. And then we have a situation where it's Melbourne hosting Port and Melbourne win.
Melbourne.
And there's your premier. Melbourne are premiers. If Collingwood wins, who wins this one? Collingwood at home, yeah? At the
Collingwood
MCG,
by
it's
4
Collingwood.
points.
If it's at the MCG, spring day in September, sun is beaming, it's clean. Dacos is just kicking bullets down each other's throats. It's Collingwood.
Yeah.
Damn it. Damn it! I don't want them to win it. But they probably will. Based on how we've mapped it. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You can wrap up the season. You don't have to watch anymore. We've run it through. Just give it to the Pies. Congratulations, Collingwood, you bastards. You win it. Collingwood was back. There we go. So, Jonas, are you a Collingwood fan? Because I'm not sure Collingwood fan would call themselves Collie Wobbles. Dacos for Norm Smith. I agree, Michael. Hard to go past him.
Nah, it'll be Darcy Moore. They'll intercept he'll intercept like 400 goals and they'll be like, oh, Darcy Moore's on a tear again. Let's go.
Yeah, because Charlie Dixon's not good enough to spearhead a premiership forward line.
No, it would be Scott Endlebury.
Scott Pendlebury.
Will he retire? That's the question.
Nah, he signed on. He's signed on, hasn't he? already?
Yeah, but you win a grand final, it does a lot to you. Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe he just wants to
I
win
reckon it
another
goes
grand
around
final.
again. Goes
I reckon
around
it goes
again.
around.
I reckon here's a prediction for you. I reckon he's the one that breaks Brenton Harvey's record. I reckon he does it just to spite. I reckon Collingwood carry him for the next 3 years, and then he gets the grand final record. So the games record.
Cool. Awesome. Well, that I think in 1.5 hours.
Yeah.
I think that will be it for tonight.
Had a bit
Jono?
of an interesting night with old mate coming on and being like,
Hey, if you yell, I might be able to hear you better.
yeah.
Wake up, Jeff.
Yes, exactly, Jono. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. Great session. Thanks for everyone who came on to have a chat with us about the team, about how the games went. Get to bed, mate. I'm not that tired, but it's been 1.5 hours. It's been not too bad.
I got stuff to do, man. I got work.
Got stuff to do. Exactly. Got work tomorrow. I wanna go to bed on a high with our winning ways. Before we end up losing to Adelaide in the first week of the finals and get knocked out again. So
at home, in Adelaide at home are tough to beat, Joe. It's no.
I know.
It's no there's nothing wrong with that,
That's why I know, but that means the drought keeps going longer, and I'm yet to see a finals win still.
Yeah, but
Darcy Parish leaves the club.
But Brad Scott making finals in his first year of the team and looking good and keeping a few of the senior players around. Darcy Parish and Redmond aren't going to leave if you guys have just made finals in the first year under Brad Scott.
Yeah, you'd hope not. Not. Yanko, you boys are legends. See you next week at the Cats. Cheers, Yanko. Really appreciate it, mate.
Later.
Hope you all have a lovely evening, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you give us a like on the stream. Certainly helps us with the algorithm. And congratulations to the Pies. They've won the flag.
And my team review's coming out tomorrow. I'm putting my foot down. Coming out tomorrow. We've got our round review coming out tomorrow as well, and then team sheets on Thursday.
Yeah. Causa, really, man? I was nice to you. I was nice to you. I'm now on Team Jonas. Jonas, abuse him in the comment, okay? Thanks for coming on, man. Really appreciate it. Cheers, Ross. Have a lovely evening, guys. See ya. Even Jono, the theme supporter.